I didn't say the scream, I said the stream. Let me make you host. And let me change this. I didn't say the scream, I said the stream. I got that done. All right. Let me move this over here so I can see you guys. I hope Lee isn't lost. Let me go take one more check out the door, make sure she's not out here somewhere trying to find us. Okay. I don't see her. All right. I'm MIA. Here I am. Morning, Rick.
Good morning.
All right, let's see what I got here. Why does it look like such a disaster area? All right, it is what it is. And I can't put that up on there. I'm afraid it's gonna do something weird. There we go. I can't do that. I hope I'm not making anybody motion sick. All right. All right. So we are going to use weights today. So if you don't have them, you can go ahead and get them. Let's see how I did here. It's always such a challenge trying to get everything situated. All right. So for the so let's just walk around while I talk about the education portion. So we've been and some of these things are repetitive in terms of when we do the classes, you'll hear the same kind of things each time we do the class. But you know, it does take us 7 times hearing things before we actually can remember a lot of it. So I just want to encourage you to not tune out just because you may have heard parts of it earlier, because you may pick up other parts of it now. So what we're going to talk about today are joint protection tips. Okay. And what that means is it means using your joints wisely by doing everyday tasks in a way that reduce the stress on painful joints, right? So, so what are some things you can do to use your joints wisely? Don't overdo is what Ann says. So Ann says don't overdo. That's a good thing. All right. Anybody else got any pointers of how you can use your joints wisely? What if you've got to pick something up and it's heavy? What's the best way to pick something up if it's heavy?
Bend at your knees.
Bend at my knees. And why am I going to do that?
So you don't strain your lower back.
Okay, so, and the reason we do that is so we don't strain our lower back, because what happens, so if I bend over to pick something up like this, what's doing most of the work?
Your tailbone.
My lower back, right? So where the muscle, where I'm doing it from is here. So if instead, if I bend my knees, and even if I have to lean on something to bend my knees and grab something with one hand, and I then stand up, what muscles am I using now to stand up?
Your legs.
I'm using my legs, right? And my legs should be the strongest muscles in my body. All right. What about if you what if you have sore shoulders and you're carrying a bag over your shoulder? What should you do about it?
Don't carry it.
Don't carry it, or make it lighter, right? Or split it between 2 bags, right? And maybe carry it in 2 bags instead of 1 heavy bag. And I'm really guilty of this. Like, I'll put it on my shoulder and I'll be walking in like this. All right. I shouldn't be doing that. Right. So, so that brings us to the next one, which is avoid deforming positions. So if I take and I throw my backpack over my shoulder, oh, I don't have my mask on. Sorry, Ann. I'll put my mask on. If I'm carrying my backpack on my shoulder and I have my 10-pound weights in my backpack, on my 8-pound weight, so I have 16 pounds in my backpack, what am I going to be walking like? I'm going to be walking like this, right? That's a deformed position, which isn't good for my back because it means it's going to be putting extra pressure on certain vertebrae in my back. So I don't want to do that. Okay. Another one is, so say you're weeding your garden and you've decided you're going to be smart about it and you're going to sit down, okay, and you're weeding, but you do this for an hour. What's your back going to feel like after you've done it for an hour? You're still going to be in pain. So you don't want to be in a position for long periods of time like that. So what you may need to do is you may need to set yourself a timer, set it on your cell phone or something and say, you know, I'll do this for 7 minutes and I'll get up and I'll just walk around. Okay. So that you give your body a chance to compensate a little bit better. What are some devices that you can use that can decrease the stress on your joints?
You could use one of those grocery carts that do pull to carry your load.
Okay, hold on just a minute, Mary Lou. So Ann says she wears gloves. Uh-huh. And you wear gloves to protect your fingers and your wrists. Okay, so she uses a support on her fingers and her wrists, because the other things that gloves do, or any covering, is it keeps the joint warm, right? So then that can help the blood flow so that you can have better blood flow while you use it. Now, the other thing you want to watch, if you have a hot inflamed joint that day, you probably don't want to be putting on gloves and making it even worse, right? So just food for thought. And Mary Lou, you said you were talking about what kind of
They have a grocery cart, a 2-wheeler that you can pull behind you to carry your load.
Oh, I know what you mean.
It's
Yeah.
upright.
So
it's
it's
upright.
it's like a basket, right? So she was saying
Walmart.
Yeah, so she was saying to use the baskets that you can pull behind you, so that the weight can be in the basket. That's kind of why I use my rolly cart here, is because I put all my heavy stuff in there. I even put my weights in my 5-gallon pail and put that on top of my cart so that I'm not carrying my weights with me everywhere. So we need to be smart like that. Very good. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start our joint check warm up. Okay. And with the joint check warm up, I want you guys to tell me some motions that we can do for each of our body parts. So let's start at the head. So what exercises can we do to get our neck moving?
Turn our head left and right.
Turn our head left and right. So let's turn the head left and center and right. And when we're in those positions, kind of hold it for a count of 3, center and left, center and right, center. Now, is there any other movements you can think of for your neck? Head tilt. Ann's doing the head tilt. Okay. Up, center and right, and up and tilt. So when you got it down here, can you feel the stretch on this side of your neck? Center and right. Okay. Now, what exercises can we do for our shoulders? We can do shoulder shrugs. Mary Lou's doing a shoulder shrug and down. Now, I like to do this with our drama queen response. So when we exhale, we're going to, there you go. That was good. Anything else you can think of for the shoulders?
Rotate them. You know.
You can do it one at a time. Ann says you can do one at a time, right? And what about our shoulder circles? Okay. Now, what about our shoulder rotators? What can we do to make our shoulder rotators work?
Is that?
That's right, Val. So we're going to do our palms up, right? And we're going to go out to the side and in, and out to the side and in. We have a lot of people that get shoulder rotator problems, right? So we want to do what we can to prevent problems with our shoulder rotators. Okay, so now let's go to our feet. What can we do for our feet?
Flex them.
Flex them. So we can lift our toes, right? And then curl our toes. Lift them and curl them. This is one of my favorite exercises because our toes get forgotten all the time. And I get so amazed by the fact that they get warm when I move them. It's like, it's the only body part that I notice gets warm when I move it. I know I'm weird. You're stuck with me. Hands laughing at me. Good, because I'm laughing at me too. Yes. All right, now what can we do for our ankles?
Rotate them.
Okay, let's sit down and we'll do our ankle circles. One thing I don't always say when I do this, and I used to work in a different place, and I had a sweet lady, and every time I said it, she'd just repeat it with the sweetest voice. And I'd say, O's with our toes, and she'd go, O's with our toes. And it brought me such joy. Okay, then go the other way. O's with our toes. Maybe I had too much caffeine this morning, Ann. She keeps laughing at me. You're just tickled. She's just tickled she found where I was this morning. Amazing how thankful we can be, right? All right. So what can we do for our hips?
We can walk the seat.
We can walk, well, okay, so Anna's doing the feet out and in, right? And you're right, Mary Lou, then we can do our hip walk, right? We can walk in our seat, right? So lift your hip, walk back. You didn't know you were leading class today, did you? I'm making you guys do all the work. All right, what can we do for our belly?
Bring them back in.
Bring it back in, we can tighten it up, right? We can tighten it up. We could do a cat-cow, right? A cat-cow, you kind of curl your back and you arch your back like a cat. And then you bring it up and you arch it in like you're a cow, you're a swayback cow, a swayback horse, and a cat, and a cow, and a cat, and a cow. All right. So we've moved our stomach kind of in and out. What can we do about kind of twisting our stomach? What's one way we could do that? We don't do this as much. So let's put our hands on our waist and let's do a rotation, okay? So you're gonna rotate one side and then rotate the other way. So what we've done is we've made our spine go in all the different directions that it's meant to go, right? Because if we don't move it, it gets stiff and it doesn't wanna move.
Move
All
it.
right.
Move it.
Move it or lose it, that's right. Okay, so now we're gonna go back and we're gonna start doing our range of motion and strengthening. So we are gonna start with our head turn. So so I'm gonna start marching in place so that I'm using my legs and I'm increasing my heart rate. Look over the left shoulder, straight ahead, over the right shoulder, straight ahead left, straight ahead and right. And we're gonna do 8 repetitions today. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Now we're going to do our backward shoulder circles. We're moving down. We're going to our shoulder circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's getting warm in here. 8. Okay. And now we're going to do our finger curl. So as we do our finger curl, let's do 2 at once. So we'll do our finger curl and we'll do our out and in. Then the other leg. Curl and out. Curl and out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do another 8 so that we get both legs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hands on your thighs. We're going to do the finger lift. 1 finger at a time. Lift your pinky, put it down. Lift your ring finger, put it down. Middle, index, thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky. I'm going to go random now. Middle, ring, index, thumb, pinky, middle, ring, index, thumb, middle, pinky, ring, index. All right. Now we're going to go back to our arm swings. We'll just swing our arms back and forth. 2, 3. It's like the ocean. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Let's back to shoulder circles. Let's just do 3. All right. Now we're going to have our hands up and we're going to go together and apart. I'm going to go back to marching, together and apart. Whew. All right. Now we'll do our elbow bend and turn, down and up and turn. 2, so out and in, up and out, down and out. That's what I mean. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Now diagonal arm reach. We'll do it both at the same time. Bring the arms out, cross, and up. Other one out and up. 3, 4, 5. See how far up you can get the arms too. See if you can get them up and a little behind your head. 7 and 8. All right. Now we'll do the hip walk. All right. Get all the way to the back of your chair, then go the other way. Woo, it's warm in here. It's not, but it feels it. And the bathroom, just so you know, the bathroom is just around the corner. Woo, woo, you know? Rather than in the other county. All right. All right, now we're going to do the other arm reach. So now we're going to go from down, crisscross and up. Down, crisscross up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We are cruising, folks. Cruising. Overhead arm reach. Bring them up as far as you can. Oh, we're getting a drink. Ann says we're getting a drink, so we're getting a drink. My water spilled in the back of the car this morning. Luckily, it was right by the tailgate, and I had an extra gallon of water in my car. So it's like, okay, I can just refill it. My water spilled in my office. My car. In my office. All right. So, back to, let's see, arm reaches. See how far up you can reach. So what I like about this is when we do it this way, bring it down, we are actually stretching out our spine, right? We're using the muscles in our back besides moving our shoulders, we're using the muscles in our back to stretch up between the vertebrae of the spine. Okay. Because as we do this, as we reach up and back down, we make that, this puts pressure on the discs. This lifts the pressure off the discs a little bit. So what we end up with is we kind of refresh the fluid in the spinal discs. All right, now we're going to do the hip flexor stretch. Where's your hip flexor?
Where it was this morning.
Mary Lou said it where it was this morning.
I think.
I like that, Mary Lou. That was good. All right, so your hip flexor, think about what makes your hip flex, right? To make my hip flex means I have to make the joint small, the angle smaller between my thigh and my body. So it's the muscle that makes me do this, okay? So it's right in here, okay? So what happens is when this is too tight, it pulls on the back, okay? So if you have lower back pain, it can be because this is pulled so tight that it's straining the back muscles. And we do a lot of sitting, don't we? Which makes this really, really short, which makes the back hurt more. So what we want to do is stretch this out. So how can we stretch this out? We have to elongate it, right? So turn to the side and you're going to drop the foot down, right? This is going to make this hip flexor muscle have to stretch out, and you can bring the leg back. Now, the other way that you get more stretch out of it is to do a tailbone tuck. So tuck your tailbone under, and when you do, it makes that stretch even a little bit more. Can everybody feel that stretching? Okay, so this is a really good one to do. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Breathe. The other thing you can do is you can either grab your foot and then point it down, and then you can get a little bit more stretch. Or you can also, when you're like this, you can hinge this way, keep your back completely straight, and you get a little bit more stretch in the hip flexor and in the front of the thigh. Let's turn to the other side. So again, drop that knee down, tuck that tailbone under. I also feel this a lot of times. I'll feel this on my bad knee. I'll feel it stretch the front down through here. So this is a really good stretch to do. Breathe. All right, and come forward, bring that leg forward and turn it toward the front. All right. So we're now going to do the hamstring and calf stretch. So we're going to sit out toward the front of our chair and bring our leg out in front. And you're going to pull that toe back toward the nose. Okay, can you feel the stretch in your calf when you do that? Pull that toe back. And you're breathing. Are you tall and proud? Is your back straight? Tailbone tucked? Oh, look at everybody changed. All right, hinge at the hips and bring the chest closer to the thighs, and you'll feel the stretch go up the back of the leg more. And I'm leaning my forearm on my right thigh. So you always put your forearm on your bent thigh. You don't want to put it on this knee because you don't want to put any more pressure on the knee that's straight. And breathe. Come on back up. Switch to the other foot. Same thing, pull the toe back, feel the stretch really in that calf. Okay, are you tall and proud? Shoulders down and back. Okay, tailbone tucked, and then hinge at the hips, bring the chest closer to the thighs. Ooh, doggy, that one's really tight. And breathe. All right. And come on back up. All right, now we're gonna start doing, now if you want to, you can stand for the next set. Okay. I'm gonna stand, but you don't have to. Okay. Let me adjust this just a tad. All right. So now we're going to do our chin tuck. Remember, we do a chin tuck when we pull our chin back so that we strengthen the muscles in the back of the neck, right? That pulls the head back so that when we walk, we're not like this, right? So if you want to, you can put your thumb on your breastplate, your index finger on your chin, and then when you pull your chin back, it should create a gap between your index finger and your chin because this thumb is still anchored. And relax. Pull back, 2, relax. 3, relax. 4, I tend to think of this as the turtle exercise. Relax, I'm pulling my head back into my shell. 5, relax. 6, 7, and 8. That's okay. I got mine on. We're fine. We're just glad you made it. All right. And you noticed when you didn't have it on, right? When you did this. Yeah. All right. Now we're going to do the shoulder blade pinch. So put your arms up into goalpost. Okay. And now you're going to pull your elbows back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And relax. 2. I'm hearing voices. 3. 4. Can we bring them all the way forward and try to get a stretch between the shoulder blades? 5. 6. 7. And one more. And 8. All right. Now we'll do the scissors. Scissors are crisscrossing at the bottom. Bring them up and crisscross at the top. 2. Again, now this one we're trying to do with as straight of arms as we can so that we get full extension of the arms. 4. 5. Try to remember which arm was in front the last time. That's the one I really struggle with, is which one is where. 2 more. 7. And 8. All right. Now let's do a gluteal set. So we're going to stand with our feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to squeeze the cheeks of our butt as tight as we can. 1, 2, 3, and relax. 2, 2, 3, and relax. 3, 2, 3, and relax. 4, 2, 3, and relax. 5, 2, 3, and relax. 6, 2, 3, and relax. And the last one, 7, 2, 3, and relax. We're going to go back to a shoulder rotator. So hands here, rotate them out. 2, 3, try to really get them out as far as you can. 4, palms up if you can. 5, 6, 7, let's do one more for good measure, and 8. All right, now we're going to do a quad stretch. We're going to stand next to our chair. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring 1 foot forward. Okay. And 1 foot back, and maybe about 18 inches between the feet. Do it so that you can have your hand on the chair. Okay. So get yourself positioned. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bend both knees and tip our tailbone forward a little bit, and you should feel a nice stretch on the front of the back thigh. You feel that? So you're bending both knees and tip the tailbone forward, and you should feel a stretch right through here. Okay. And come up and do the other side. Okay, so both Start with both knees straight, bend both knees, tuck the tailbone, and when you do, you should feel a stretch right here. If you put your hand there, you might be able to feel it like taut, and then you're trying to stretch it, let it relax. And up, switch back to the other side again. Okay, both legs straight, both legs bent, tuck your tailbone. Breathe. All right, one more time, the other side. Legs straight, legs bent, tailbone tucked. Feel that stretch in the front of the back thigh. And breathe. All right. So now we're going to do the calf stretch. So the calf stretch, we're going to have the same starting position, one foot forward, the other foot back. We're going to bend the front knee, but we're going to keep pressing that back heel to the floor. Okay, and you want to feel that stretch in that back calf. And try to keep your back foot straight so that your heel is not turned out or in. And what you can do on this too is you can have your chair in front of you if you want, like Mary Lou's doing. Just hold it and breathe. Try to get a good stretch here. All right, pull that foot forward, bring the other foot back. Again, start with the knees straight, then bend the front knee, push the back heel to the floor, and breathe. It's what they call a runner stretch. I'm not sure if you look like it's because you look like you're running or this is the one that runners use. Don't know. All right, bring that foot forward, and then we're gonna do some I'm gonna put it over here. So we're gonna stand either behind your chair or next to your chair, and we're gonna do mini squats. Okay. So when you do a mini squat, what you want to do is you want to stick your buttocks out backwards. So you're going to stick your butt out and bend your knees a little bit. That way it'll keep your knees behind your toes, and then you're going to squeeze your tushy as you come back up. Down. 2. I don't know if you can hear my knees or my knee. 3. Don't do more than you should do. 4. Stick that butt out. 5. 6. 2 more if you can. 7. Last one. And 8. All right. So now we're gonna pick up our weights. So how do we pick up our weights? We just lean over and lift them, hoist them.
Bend your knees.
We're gonna bend your knees. You're gonna rest your forearm on your thigh so you can pick up your weight. Put one hand in one weight in one hand and then pick the other one up. Okay. Now I'm gonna do these standing. You can do these sitting if you want. All right, we're gonna start with a lateral lift. What's lateral mean?
Out to the side.
Out to the side. That's right. Okay, so before we do anything, we're going to make sure we have the right position. So we're going to have feet shoulder width apart. We're going to tuck our tailbone so our back is not doing the work. We're going to relax our shoulders, relax our neck, and then one arm at a time, lift that arm out to the side and down, and then the other arm. 2. Now, when you do that, try not to tilt. Okay, so try to keep those shoulders level the whole time. Okay, 3, 4. Is your neck relaxed? 5, 6. It's hard to relax your neck and do that, isn't it? 7. That's why I say so. That's why I say it. 8. Do another 8. 1. That way we have 8 on each side. 2. Notice my arm is not going backwards. It's Go, if anything, it's a little bit forward. Try to go right out to the side. 3 more. 2, last one. Oh, I guess I ended on the wrong arm. There we go. That gives me an even number anyway. All right. So let's roll those, rest the weights on your hips, okay? And then roll your shoulders so they get a chance to take a break. All right. And let's walk around a little bit so we give it a chance to just kind of regroup before we do the next exercise. Oh, you know what I didn't put out? I didn't put out my clock. All right. All right. So now we're going to do the bicep curl. What's the important things about the bicep curls before you get started? What do you need to think about? What do you do with your elbows?
Bend them.
Anchor them to your side, right? Have your palms facing forward. Okay. And then you're going to leave your upper arms in contact with your upper body the whole time. And you're just going to bend at the elbows and bring the weight up so that the palms are facing the shoulders and down. 2, count with me. 3,
4,
5, relax the neck. 6, 2 more. 7 and 8. All right, we are going to sit down to do the next couple. I just find that I like the what should I call it? The stability that comes and the isolation that comes when I do this seated. All right, so we're going to do, so we just worked the tricep or the biceps, which is in the front of the upper arm. Now we're going to work the tricep, which is down the back of the upper arm. So what we're going to do is we're all going to turn to the side. I'm losing my watch band here. Hold on a minute. It's about to flop off here. So we're going to turn to the side. And the first thing we do is we hinge at the hips and we bring our chest closer to our thighs. And we try to think about having a straight spine from the base of the tailbone to the back of the neck. Okay. I'm going to lean my back forearm. So your right forearm is going to rest on your right thigh. You're going to have the weight in your left hand. Again, like the bicep curl, we're going to anchor that upper arm to the side of the body, and that's not going to move. All the rotation happens at the elbow, does not happen in the shoulder. So you're going to straighten the arm and then bend it. 2, you can also, once you get it straight, you can squeeze the weight and then release the squeeze. 3, squeeze, release. 4, squeeze, release. 5, the squeezing activates that tricep a little bit more. 7, last one. 8. Does anybody's neck sore? Okay. Let's turn to the other side. Do the same thing on the other side. So what was the first thing we did when we turned to the side?
ankle your arm.
You anchor your arm. Then what do you do besides that? That's right, Val. You're gonna hinge at the hips, bring your chest close to your thigh, and rest your forearm on your other thigh. Okay. With the upper arm anchored, then you rotate at the elbow, straighten the elbow, squeeze the weight, and bend. Straighten, squeeze, release. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, now we're going to turn back forward. Turn back forward. Huh, that's quite the oxymoron, isn't it?
Yes.
We're going to turn again forward. Turn forward again. Something like that. Can you tell I wasn't an English major? All right, so legs apart. Okay. You're going to have the weights between your thighs. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to lift the weights up. The ends of them are together. You're going to lift them up to the base of your chin and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, and 8. Woo! I'm tired today. Roll those shoulders back. Let's get a drink. So I'm gonna put my weights down carefully before I grab my water bottle. All right. Again, carefully pick up your weights. All right. And the last one we're going to do is a row. And with the row this time, we're going to take and we're going to turn to the side. Let's see how I do this one. I don't like this exercise, so I'm trying to think of a good way to do it. Okay. I'm just being honest. Okay. So hinge at the hips again. Rest the weight on rest your forearm on your thigh. And now we're just going to lift the arm up to the side. 2. So we're doing like a one-armed row. And the reason I'm doing it one-armed, 4, is so that you can always protect that lower back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch to the other side. So turn to the other side in your chair. See, because I don't like that. A lot of times they'll have you go hinge at the hips and then do both arms at the same time. And I just find that it just exposes my back and I end up with a sore back when I'm done. So this allows me to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong. Again, so I'm going to hinge at the hips, support my back with my arm, weight goes down and then pull it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. All right, let's turn around to the front. Let's put our weights down carefully. Support your lower back as you put one weight down, then put the other weight down. All right, let's see. So we are now back to our joint check cool down. So now we're going to start. So how do we cool down our hips? What's a way that we can move our hips in such a way? Yep, you can do the hip walk. So let's do the hip walk back to the back of the chair, then up toward the front of the chair, to the back. This is a slippery chair. We don't have to do much work, do we, Ann? We got to get these chairs more often. We just kind of glide to the back of the chair. It's a little more work to glide to the front, but not much. I thought it was just me. All right. Now, one of my favorite to do the hips is to do the inside the pickle barrel. So put your hands on your thighs. And what you're imagining is that you're using your head to go all the way around the inside of the pickle barrel. And I support my lower back. I support my back by having my hands on my thighs. All right. And then go the other way. This really relaxes my torso. Okay. All right. Now, how can we stretch our shoulder blades, our shoulder rotators? Let's take both hands, put them on the back of the chair. Okay. And lean forward. Can you feel your shoulder rotators stretching when you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let's do our neck at the same time and take your chin and bring your chin to your chest. Can you feel the stretch down the back of your neck all the way to the middle of your shoulders? Okay. Now take your chin and lift your chin to your left shoulder. Okay. Go down center again. Lift your chin to your right shoulder. And center to your left shoulder. Center to your right shoulder. And center. And come back up. Roll those shoulders back. Nice shoulder circles. Let's do some wrist circles. as we do wrist circles, can we curl our fingers and then open them, curl them and open them? So we do kind of a complex motion, go the other way, curl them and open them, curling them, open them. All right, let's do the same thing with our feet, 1 foot at a time. O's with our toes, one way, then the other way. Switch feet, one way, and the other way. Put your feet flat out in front of you. Do a point and a flex. You can't see it on my screen. Point and flex. Point and flex. One more time. Point and flex. Bring those feet down. All right. Let's do knee circles to do the hips. Okay, so just do little knee circles. 1, 2, the other direction. 1, 2, other leg. 1, 2, other direction. 1, 2. Go back to the toes and curl and lift the toes and curl and curl the hands. Doesn't your body just feel more alive now? Like everything's moved? Okay. All right. So now we get to do balance. Let's everybody stand up and we'll do balance. And then we just have relaxation to do. Woo, we made it. All right. So this time we're going to balance on one leg. And if possible, so do a weight transfer to your right leg. I guess this would be your left leg. Okay, lift 1 foot up, and then if you can you bring your arms out to the side and do arm circles? I'm really asking a lot today, aren't I? Okay. Go the other way. If you need to keep one by the chair, you do so. Okay. And let's switch to the other side of the chair and do the same thing by standing on the other foot. Okay. Weight transfer to the right foot. Arms up. And then circle. Okay, so what this is doing is this is making your mind think of not just the balance, but the motion. Plus the motion is making your center of gravity change. So your body has to regroup. All right, let's sit down and relax. You're all for that, right? All right. So the exercise for relaxation today, that sounds like an oxymoron too. The exercise for relaxation. The practice of relaxation today is called floating in space. Okay. So what we're going to do is go ahead and sit back in your chair. If you want to, you can close your eyes to help reduce any distractions and help you focus. And what we want to do is take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and slowly exhale it through your mouth. So inhale and exhale. Again, take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply, noticing yourself getting more and more relaxed. And with your breathing, try to let all your tension melt away. Sometimes it helps as you do this to really make an audible exhale. Now imagine that you're standing in front of an elevator and the doors open. You step in and you watch the numbers go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The doors open and you step into a clear globe that's filled with glass beads. And the beads support you completely, almost as if you're in water. And you float inside the globe as it drifts out into space. You feel completely safe as you're doing this. You have no worries because you're just supported all the way around. Feel yourself floating weightlessly and drifting, and you're lighter than air. See the pure, velvety, deep blue color of space all around you. Look at the earth, small and green and blue. Imagine stars and planets moving past you in the distance. Imagine yourself moving toward an area of diffuse light, and the light is all different colors. And it's as bright and ethereal as a distant star. As you come closer to the light, it increases in size until you feel yourself surrounded by the glow of all these different colors of light. You're surrounded by the light and you're bathed in feelings of tranquility and well-being. If any disturbing thoughts or feelings enter your mind as you're in this place, allow them to just pass by. Just acknowledge them and let them go. They can disappear into space. Just as you imagine the planets and the stars pass you on this journey. Let any of the negative thoughts or feelings fade into the distance, and you leave them behind you in the same way that you might imagine a comet disappearing over the horizon. Slowly float out of the multicolored light, but imagine that it's filled your body and you carry it with you everywhere you go. Then float back past the stars and the planets through the deep, velvety blue-black sky, back to the elevator. Step back in and see the doors close and watch the numbers decrease as you continue to breathe comfortably. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The doors open and you're back home. Feel the weight of your body totally relaxed wherever you are. Remember, you can go back to this place whenever you want, simply by sitting quietly and remembering the places in as much detail as possible. When you're done with this exercise, you will feel relaxed and calm, yet alert and energized, and ready to face the rest of your day. So let's take another breath or two here, sitting in this place of relaxation. Go ahead and open your eyes. I don't want to open my eyes. Take a nice, big, deep breath in as you bring your arms up overhead. Really stretch. Exhale completely as you bring your arms down. Bring them up and around into a hug. Feel your arms around you and remember you're safe and you're healthy. Bring the arms around again, out, bring them around. This time, imagine yourself giving someone you love a hug. Realize it's yourself. Remember you're loved, you're valued, and you're full of purpose. Fine job, everybody.
Safe trip.
Thank you.